Real Virginia is proudly produced by the Virginia Farm Bureau Federation. For almost a century, Farm Bureau has been a friend of the farm for all Virginians. Visit our website at vafb.com.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Real Virginia, a show about Virginia agriculture and the people who produce the wonderful local products we enjoy. Brought to you by the Virginia Farm Bureau. Here's what's coming up on this week's show. Beef prices are at record highs. Chef Tammy has strawberries and ice cream for us. And Land Labs are training the next generation of Virginia farmers.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay, Atlantic to Appalachia, home in my heart always.
Welcome back to Real Virginia, everyone. We're coming to you this week from the Isle of Wight County Schools Agricultural Land Lab, where students are getting a hands-on education about agriculture. We'll have more on that coming up a little bit later in the show, but first, beef prices, like many agricultural products, are going up, but the reasons why might surprise you. Elijah Griles explains.
May is National Beef Month, and while many Virginians are firing up their grills to enjoy their favorite cuts or burger creations, they're likely noticing beef prices are hitting wallets hard, like this package of ground beef that costs $7.29 per pound. We talked with key players across Virginia's beef industry to uncover why these prices have climbed so high.
The basics of it are supply and demand. And the cattle cycle overall typically goes in 10 to 12 year cycles. And so we expand for a period of time and then we contract. And as we have more product, obviously the price of cattle and the price of beef usually goes down. As we have less product, the prices for those commodities goes up. And so right now we're at the very bottom of our supply levels. So we're at record lows as far as our cattle inventory in the United States.
Reeves says the record low national cattle inventory was caused by drought in key cattle producing regions of the United States in 2021 and 2022. This forced farmers to cull their herds. Virginia Tech professor Mario Ortez says herd rebuilding and price improvement will take time.
Farmers need to start culling less cows, so the older animals, and they need to start retaining more heifers, the female animals. And once you make that decision to retain that heifer, then it takes about 2 years for that heifer to bear an offspring. And then that offspring is then going to take another 18 to 24 months to be ready to be harvested. So some credible estimates out there are suggesting that, again, we're going to see the bottom of the cattle herd inventories in the United States this year in 2025. And that we should start seeing some signals of herd expansion in 2026, which then in turn will perhaps allow some relief into cattle prices.
Although they contribute to high prices for beef, Reeves says that current high prices for cattle are helping Virginia farmers keep up with higher input costs.
We're seeing a lot of these calves that are being weaned, so just off their mamas weighing 500-600 pounds, bringing 3 all the way up to 350, 100 weight. That's more than double what they would have brought 5 years ago.
$300 a hundredweight is equivalent to $3 per pound. These prices are for feeder cattle, which are weaned calves weighing 400 to 900 pounds.
That is a really great thing for producers. It's been a long time. I think a lot of our producers would tell you it's been a long time coming. We've had some tough years prior to this price run up, and obviously our input costs have gone up as well. When you look at the cost of equipment, when you look at the cost of fertilizer and the things that are required for us to do business.
Most of Virginia's feeder calves are sold at auction, and Stanton Union stockyard owner Todd Weichert says the demand for Virginia feeder cattle has created a seller's market.
Our sale Friday, we had some very good cattle for the last month, really. And you got buyers that are hungry for them. When you got the right kind of cattle, an auctioneer don't have to sit up there and beg much. Somebody's going to hook them cattle and go north because the cattle sell themselves.
Virginia cattle farmers represent just one part of the national beef supply chain, though.
Commercial cow-calf producer is the farmer who has the cows that have the babies, and we have a lot of that in Virginia. So a stocker producer is one that takes a calf that's been weaned and raises them, runs them on grass, usually this time of year through the summer and fall, and raises that calf up to be somewhere around 800, 900 pounds, where they're then sold to a feedlot. When cattle go into the feedlot, they're typically fed a higher energy ration, which that makes the beef taste good. And from the feedlot, then they'll go on to processing at a packing facility.
Reeves says most Virginia cattle are sent to feedlots in Pennsylvania, the Midwest, or Ontario, Canada before they are processed. Ortez explains the other side of the beef price equation is strong demand.
Demand for beef has been resilient in recent years, even in the midst of high beef prices.
The United States Department of Agriculture estimates the average American will consume 58.9 pounds of beef in 2025, down from 59.1 pounds in 2024. Reeves is grateful for consumers' willingness to choose beef.
Beef, it's what's for dinner. I mean, it's been really phenomenal. Demand has been phenomenal. I think I give a lot of credit. We obviously have the beef checkoff that has been in existence now for several decades that promotes beef, and they've done a fantastic job of doing that. We've done a fantastic job, I think, of improving the product that consumers are buying. To all the consumers out there, thank you. Thank you for eating beef. Thank you for trusting our product and our producers.
To learn more about Virginia's beef cattle industry and the cattle community, visit the Virginia Beef Council's website at vabeef.org. For Real Virginia, I'm Elijah Griles.
Beef cattle arrived in Virginia in the early 1600s. The Commonwealth is currently home to over 574,000 beef cows. With more than $524 million in sales in 2024, cattle and calves rank as Virginia's second leading agricultural commodity. Beef offers significant nutritional benefits for Virginians. Not only is it packed with high-quality protein for building strength, it is also an excellent source of readily absorbed iron, plus essential zinc for a healthy immune system, and vital B vitamins like B6 and B12, which support brain function and give you energy.
I'm Mark Viette. Coming up on In the Garden, I'm going to talk about a new insect, the spotted lanternfly. Stay with us.
Farming is a rewarding way of life, but it can also be full of challenges. If you or someone you know is struggling, call or text the AgriStress helpline at 833-897-2473. It offers 24/7 access to professionals who can support someone in need and help find mental health services in your community. Please make the call, because healthy farms depend on healthy farm families. That's 833-897-2474.
The spotted lanternfly is a threat to Virginia's forests and vineyards. Mark Viette shows us the best way to fight this invasive species in the garden.
Behind me is a tree that I call the tree from hell. The more common name is the tree from heaven. It's Ailanthus altissima. And probably well over 100 years ago, it was imported into this country for some reasons, and it has spread all over the country in many areas. And the reason I'm talking about the tree from hell, it is the favorite food tree for the spotted lanternfly. And this is an insect that sucks the juices out of the tree, but it also loves grapes. So vineyards have had a hard time dealing with the spotted lanternfly. So one thing I will mention, relatively new, I'm guessing it's been around for 3 years, give or take. A lot of chemicals have not updated their labels to say the spotted lanternfly. So when you go to your garden store, you'll have to ask what chemicals you can use for the spotted lanternfly. This is the tree from hell, and if you look very carefully, you're going to see spotted lanternflies all over. There's about 100 of them. And as you come down toward the bottom here, you can see there's probably close to 50 of them here. So what the spotted lanternfly does, it sucks the juices out of the leaves and it exudes what is known as honeydew. It's a sugary substance. In fact, yesterday, I don't see it now, but this tree was raining honeydew. So honeydew was falling from all of the spotted lanternflies, and it falls on the leaves here, and the normal leaves look like this, but then the honeydew that drops to the leaves sticks to the leaves, and then something called black sooty mold, which grows on a honeydew, and it's black, and it looks like soot. So that's another sign of the spotted lanternfly. Now, this tree from hell is one of their favorite trees. And it is difficult to find chemicals to control this, because since it's a new pest, a lot of chemicals don't have spotted lanternfly on the label, so you have to ask for the chemicals. But one of the things that you can do is you can cut the trees off your property. Now, it's going to require a weed killer, because if I were to cut this tree, all the roots that grow out will sprout new tree from hells. So, but if you look here, they move and they hop, and a couple of the insects that love this, honeydew, would include yellow jackets, bald-faced hornets, and European hornets. Now, I don't like European hornets, because when they sting you, they're about 10 to 15 times the size of a yellow jacket, and they can be nasty. One of the things that, you know, I read about is squish them. Well, how are you going to squish the egg cases? And I mean, we have got hundreds of spotted lanternflies, and they do recommend not getting on a ladder. But a lot of the spotted lanternflies and egg cases are up and down this tree. So really, you know, squishing them, if you had one, may make sense, but we have hundreds of these spotted lanternflies. So I would recommend go to your full-service garden store, find a control, and then or cut your trees down, and that would help get rid of these new pest, spotted lanternfly, which feeds on about 20 different types of plants or more. I'm Mark Viette. Join me next time in the garden.
Email your garden questions to viette@viette.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Tammy Brawley from the Green Kitchen. Coming up on Heart of the Home, roasted strawberry ice cream. We hope you'll stay with us.
Every year, 500 people in the United States die in an all-terrain vehicle-related accident, and another 1,000 people are seriously injured. Sadly, many of those victims are children.
Simple rules for ATV safety are: one, wear a helmet. Have to wear a helmet. The other one is being able to control your speed. All of these relate together. Knowing your terrain, and especially avoiding steep slopes. Steep slopes are the leading cause of overturns.
This message brought to you by the Virginia Farm Bureau Safety Advisory Committee.
May is Strawberry Month in Virginia, and Chef Tammy Brawley has a mouth-watering ice cream and strawberry dessert that's perfect for when the weather gets warm. in the heart of the home.
Hi, I'm Chef Tammy Brawley from the Green Kitchen, and welcome to Heart of the Home. Today I'm going to show you a delicious recipe to do with those beautiful strawberries that are being grown across Virginia. I love this recipe. What I love about it is we are roasting the strawberries. Anytime you roast a vegetable or a fruit, anything along those lines, it's going to bring out a nice caramelized flavor, bring out those sugars. So we're going to start with some whole strawberries that we've actually taken the green off and hold them a little bit. We're going to sprinkle in a 1/4 cup of sugar. And we're going to drizzle in about 4 tablespoons or so of balsamic vinegar. Just going to kind of mix them around. I believe your recipe that you're going to see actually calls for putting them on a single layer on a sheet tray. I backed off of that when I did this recipe. I would rather do it in a glass dish. It's going to collect those nice, beautiful sugars at the end after they get done roasting. These are going to go into a 300-degree oven for about 30 minutes. I'm going to pull those out. You're going to have a nice, syrupy, hot sauce on the bottom there. And what has to happen is you want to chop them up somewhat roughly. I actually like to use a little slaw cutter as opposed to putting them on a cutting board with a knife. And I'm just going to go through here, do a rough chop on them. What's going to happen is we're going to have to let them cool, and then they go into the refrigerator for about 4 hours or overnight. I did create a batch of the roasted strawberries ahead, and that's what I have here is a batch that I did yesterday. Now we've got our ice cream maker all set up and ready to go, and we're going to make this delicious ice cream. We have got 2 cups of heavy cream, got a cup of milk, a 1/2 cup of sugar, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Turn that maker on. And now we're going to come back and add the roasted strawberries. All the juices, all that balsamic vinegar, the sugar and everything smells wonderful. We're going to add that in. And depending on the ice cream maker that you have, I know mine takes about a 1/2 an hour for this to come together. All right, our strawberry ice cream has gone about a 1/2 an hour or so in the maker. We're going to check the consistency of that. It's already coming out of the edge here, so I can tell it it's pretty much done. Now, the consistency is absolutely delicious here. It's very soft, and it should be. But you do want to now put it in your freezer to get it hardened overnight or certainly in the morning if you plan to serve it for dessert the night before. And I've got some already made here. And what we're going to do is just put it into a beautiful little cone. You may want a smaller scoop or just be able to push it down without, oh, look at that roasted strawberry right on top. And there you have it, roasted strawberry ice cream. I'm Chef Tammy Brawley from the Green Kitchen. Join us next time on Heart of the Home.
Recipes from the Heart of the Home can be found on the Virginia Farm Bureau website at vafb.com/recipes, as well as on Chef Tammy Brawley's website at greenkitchenrichmond.com.
Did you know that ice cream is a nod to local agriculture? Dairy farming plays an enormous role in the production of the favorite sweet treat. In 2023, Virginia had 365 dairy farms across the state and over 66,000 dairy cows. A Virginia cow produces on average 7.9 gallons of ice cream's key ingredient, milk, every day. Next time you're indulging in your favorite scoop from a local creamery, remember, you're also supporting Virginia's dairy farmers.
2 rural Virginia communities are taking a hands-on approach to how they teach agriculture to their kids. They may be on opposite sides of the Commonwealth, but they share a desire to make agriculture accessible and fun. Isle of Wight County is home to one of our two agriculture theme labs. This one is situated behind the county's elementary school. The facility serves older students and provides the opportunity for learning outside of the classroom.
If they have a question about an animal or a plant, instead of going into a book and researching it, we actually put our hands on it. Everything's live. We're able to take that student and show them what we're talking about versus them having to look at a picture in a book.
Some students already have a passion for agriculture, and this facility is helping them turn their interest into a career.
I have always wanted to be a type of veterinarian, and when I heard about the land lab, it really just, it got me excited to know that there are things out here that's just not in a classroom that just makes you look at a book, and so you can, learn about animals and be hands-on.
Even though Isle of Wight County is rural and has plenty of agriculture, Judkins says 95% of students he works with do not come from an agricultural background. Henley Massengill is one of the ones that do, and she works with goats and other livestock according to a set schedule.
Normally, first block feeds Monday through Wednesday, and then our second block, this class, we feed Thursday and Friday, and we pull sticks, so we get something different each time, and so it's kind of randomized what you get, so you get to learn a little bit of everything.
On the other side of Virginia, far from the coastal lowcountry, students in a different kind of rural community are learning many of the same tasks. But instead of goats, these students are learning how to raise sheep.
I come from a farming background too, but we never did deal with sheep or nothing. It's kind of cool to learn how to shear the sheep when they come and do that. It's kind of cool to watch them.
I think it's helped a lot in terms of just learning about all the animals and the equipment that it offers with the sheep and the pigs.
Dudding's mother, Jeannie Dudding, helps run the Giles facility and has had some unexpected teaching moments.
Last year, we actually had to do a C-section on one of the ewes, and it was pretty exciting because we're very blessed the vet school is so close. And so the vet from Virginia Tech was working on the ewe and literally, pulled the lambs out and tossed one to me and one to the other ag teacher. And, it was just such a cool experience. And, maybe we have students who aren't necessarily returning to a career of agriculture or into, actual farming, but maybe we have students who go on to nursing. And a lot of what we learn up here with animals crosses over to what we know about human medicine.
The Giles facility has had the support of the school system as well as the community at large.
We're so disconnected from agriculture, even in this rural county, it's pretty worrisome. The backing that we have here to have this facility has just been 100% positive, and we appreciate all the work that our volunteers and our school board members and all the staff put in here too.
Even for the students who come from a farm, there are skills taught at these facilities that really stand out.
The implant gun, using that, because I originally knew about it, but I didn't know how it worked. And I figured out where you had to put in the ear, how to do it, and all that kind of stuff. I feel like that's gonna really help me throughout my farming career.
I donate a pig every year, and I actually keep up with the fencing, feeding the pig, making sure it's healthy and on weight.
The future leaders of agriculture are enhancing their skills at these land labs, giving them valuable hands-on experience with different types of farming and the things they need to learn in order to be successful at it. In Giles County, Virginia, I'm Burke Moeller reporting. We're so glad you could join us to celebrate all the bounty Virginia has to offer. From the kitchen to your home and garden, to our beautiful wide open spaces, we're proud to say that this is Rio, Virginia. For everyone from the Virginia Farm Bureau, thanks for watching. Make it a great week.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay. Atlantic to Appalachia, home in my heart always.
Farmers and ranchers are no strangers to planting seeds and looking to the future. Some crops take just months to grow, while others take years to bear fruit. The same can be said for what we do here at Farm Bureau in cultivating leaders. The Young Farmers and Ranchers program engages young farmers and ranchers between the ages of 18 and 35. Through its conferences, competitive events, networking opportunities, and other activities, young farmers and ranchers become equipped and empowered to serve as leaders in Farm Bureau and in our communities.
It's been a really good learning experience for us. I am so thankful to have these experiences and these opportunities. We have been involved with Farm Bureau for the last 12 years, and we have learned a lot, and we've networked with people. Our operation has actually changed a whole bunch because of networking through Farm Bureau.
YF&R has worked for more than 20 years to provide food to those in need around our country through our Harvest for All program. We've donated tens of millions of pounds of food and thousands of volunteer hours. These outreach efforts are helping to cultivate stronger, more resilient rural communities across our country.
Farmers not only care about our land and our resources, but they also care about the people in our state and within our local communities. This is why this is such a priority for our people, and we really want to make sure that everybody has access to healthy, fresh food.
Farm Bureau's strength depends on farmers and ranchers being fully engaged as volunteer leaders at the local, state, and national levels. We help young farmers and ranchers build the skills needed in a multitude of ways.
Young Farmers and Ranchers program and the American Farm Bureau Federation has given us so many opportunities to prepare us, to help us be better public speakers, to help us network, to help us tell our story publicly and get more comfortable and confident with that.
Competitive events provide an opportunity to recognize outstanding members. From our discussion meet to our Achievement Award and Excellence in Agriculture Award, we challenge participants to engage, analyze, and get involved. The Farm Bureau YF&R program opens the door for lifelong involvement as a leader in agriculture.
Get involved. Our Farm Bureau family is who we lean on. Just in this last week, we've had a member of our young farmers group pass away, and we have all leaned on each other. These people will become your family. These are your people that understand you. These are the people that are going to rally behind you when something happens. So if you're standing on the outside and you're not sure, get involved. Be there. Show up to a meeting.
We're thankful for our farmers for giving us all of our food, locally sourced, and taking care of this baby's tummy so he can grow really big.
Thank you so much for raising the cows so that I can have milk every day.
Thank you, farmers, for giving me corn to eat. We love farm-to-table food and cows. Thank you, farmers. Thank you.
Thank you for Brussels sprouts and raspberries. I like strawberries, and thank you, farmers, for harvesting them. I'm thankful for milk, cheese, eggs.
Hey, we just want to say thank you to all the Virginia farmers out there. We love what you do. Keep up the good work.
Put the keys down, Kevin. But I'm going to drive home. There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely going to call a ride home.